Good morning and welcome to week 2 of our dieting phase, and this week we have a special guest. I got a new watch. I treated myself to a little Garmin. I actually girl mathed it to the max because I had a few things that I could trade in. I hadn't traded in my old laptop and obviously my old Apple Watch I could trade in, and that made this watch with the Prime deal £30. So can't really complain at that, can you? I've been testing it out the past few days. I've had it for a week now. I've been testing it out and I have some thoughts and feelings because I feel like everyone is on the Garmin hype right now. I don't know if everyone should be on the Garmin hype right now. Like, there's definitely loads of benefits in comparison to an Apple Watch, but there's definitely a few drawbacks. So let's go through my day. We'll chat about the Garmin. We'll chat about the dieting phase. Let's go to the gym. Do you know how much you're going to be able to hear me with music? But we're at the gym. Cycle is done. A cycle in the bag. It actually felt really nice. Just trying to stay within that zone 2, a little bit zone 3. It was mostly zone 3, but we were bringing it down to zone 2 later on, which was quite good. So hopefully if I keep doing that every single week, that will help to improve my running massively. What I loved about my Garmin, that's the first time I've used my Garmin on the bike. I used the Watt bike, and when I started the indoor cycle, it was like sensor found, and then it connected to the bike, and the bike wasn't showing anything on the screen. I didn't purposely connect anything, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's normal, but I've used an indoor bike before with my Apple Watch and that's never happened. So I could see my speed on my watch. Halfway through I did get off to kind of try and film some clips on this. So the screen of the bike went off, which meant that it didn't continue to connect my speed to my watch, but I thought that was very good. And I've never had that happen before. It was really helpful to see the zones on my watch so blaringly obviously. Again, I don't think that's as obvious on an Apple Watch at all. And then later on today we've got gymnastics, which I always manage to film these when I have gymnastics, but recently my Apple Watch has been dying as soon as I get to gymnastics and I'm not able to track the workout. Not that that's a huge massive deal, but it is just a little bit of an annoyance that I'm not able to add that to my sessions when obviously I track everything else. So I'm excited that this watch, I put this on charge fully on Sunday, maybe midday, and we have 63% battery right now, and it's Wednesday. So it's not even half, which I'm very, very happy about. I'm gonna go home and get a shower before I get out and walk the dog, before it gets too warm. Basically just gonna get ready to go straight on a walk. But one thing with this Garmin, it does auto detect activity if you put the settings on. So my Apple Watch will automatically do it. You do have to go into the settings and click that you want that as an option. And I tested it out yesterday. I don't know how accurate it was. It comes up after 10 minutes. And then I was walking the dog, so I guess I had him in this hand at some points. And then after 15 minutes, it just stopped. Like after 10 minutes, it came on and said, you're doing a walk. And then after a further 5 minutes, it was like, activity saved, you're done. And I was not done. So I don't know if I would continue to use that. Obviously, if I forgot to start a walk on my watch, it's great that it will come up. But annoying that it just automatically turned off as well. I think I prefer that I have the ability to turn it off, because that was a half an hour walk and it only tracked 15 minutes. Obviously it tracked the steps normally, but kind of frustrating. What can I say? I always feel slightly illegal to go out on a dog walk on this day wearing, oh my god, why is everything open? Wearing shorts for the gym, because they're like cute scrunch bum shorts that are shorts, but it is what it is. Let's go. This is another kind of annoying feature. You have to wait for the GPS if you're going on a run or on a walk. So we'll just wait. Let's go. Morning activity is done. I have showered. Actually gonna get ready for the day. I never know what to do in terms of skincare when I've done my morning skincare properly, and then maybe I've done a couple of sweaty activities in the morning, so I've then washed my face, but like it's 10 o'clock, I'm doing things I want to get ready for the day. Do I redo that entire skincare or do I not? Opted to not. I've just put moisturizer on because the serums and stuff are spenny. Do I want to be putting that on twice a day? I mean, no thanks. But also I feel like I'm not prepared for the day if I don't do it first thing. I don't know. SPF always. This is a massive TikTok shop hype at the moment, which I think makes it feel like it's a scam. I think the TikTok ads are really bad. I don't know how brands make money out of them because it feels really icky, but this is genuinely such a nice SPF. It's really thin on your skin. It doesn't feel like you're wearing sun cream as such. And it's also, I've got the tinted version, which is perfect because as little makeup as I can wear, I'm happy with. But ordinarily, I do want a little bit of something. I want something to even out my skin texture, brighten my skin, and also give me a little glow. So this is perfect, 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 perfect. And pretty much all I wear every single day is this with a little bit of concealer, basically. I might put a bit of blush on. I don't know, but this is my base. I don't really put anything else on. In terms of so far, what I've found with the Garmin is that it is such a jump scare in comparison to an Apple Watch. Apple Watches are cute, they're intuitive. Obviously they're a smartwatch versus being a fitness watch. It just works really well. And for me, I can walk into it and I can say, can you put a timer on for an hour and a half when I'm doing my work blocks? Or if I want to add a reminder to my notes, because I always forget things if they're not written down, I could just quickly do that. So I am missing that aspect. I didn't really ever use it for anything else, like replying to texts or getting app notifications or anything like that. But I am missing that ever so slightly. And just aesthetically, the front screen is fine, but then when you go into all the other bits and bobs, like if you want to start a walk, because you can start a timer on here if you want to do that, and just, it's just not cute. Somebody needs to talk to the design team and we need to figure this out because it's a drawback, I can't lie to you. And it took me so long to even get here and buy this watch, because there's approximately 700 different types of Garmins on the market, which is totally unnecessary. I feel as though Apple Watch is just, I think you have the Apple Watch Ultra and then the normal version. Obviously you have more updated versions each time, which maybe have like a bigger screen or a better battery life. But as a general rule, they all pretty much have the same capabilities. And then I think that's pretty similar with things like Fitbit, really. It's just whether you want a really thin watch that doesn't tell you a lot or whether you want a bigger screen. There's not a huge amount of difference in the actual watches as far as I know. Yet when it came to looking at Garmin, I was really interested in all the recovery stats, and I think that's something that I'm mostly going to use with the Garmin. So obviously I was looking into that a little bit more. And some watches, even newer versions, don't have some of the properties. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them have this, but they don't have that. And it's really frustrating. And I ended up going with the Garmin Vivo Active 5, which is their most recent version of this. And I thought that I had the version with all the recovery stats, everything I could possibly need to know, everything that I was kind of looking for in a Garmin. It's got body battery, it's got my stress score, it's got a sleep coach, it's gonna track naps and things like that, like all the good recovery stuff that I was looking at. Yet someone posted a screenshot of their app the other day and their front screen was totally different to mine, and it had training load on there. So it told them whether they were in a productive training load, whether they shouldn't really train that day, how intense they should take it or whatever. And I don't have that. So I'm missing out. I got a fairly new watch and I'm still missing out on some stats that I would really have wanted. To be honest, it's not the biggest deal in the world because I can, if I click on my body battery, it will tell me like whether I should push, whether I should rest. And I think once my heart rate variability stats come in, which I think it takes like 3 weeks till you get to see the trends in that data, I think it will possibly tell me a little bit about my training. But I was just kind of miffed. I've spent so long researching the correct watch to get, and you're telling me that I'm still missing out on something? So annoying. I don't know if Heron Food is just a Midlands thing, but they had Alani on offer 3 for £1. So I have 9, and I'm gonna indulge in an Alani for this afternoon. American girlies will already know what's up with Alani, but I feel like it's not as popular in the UK. They are small drinks, energy drinks, 140 milligrams of caffeine, delicious flavours, and I just like that they're in a small can because sometimes a kind of monster can be a bit too much for my tummy. But I'm going to drink this while I go to PT. And then we can make some lunch when I get home. Back from PT, and I've just made an oat bowl with my lazy oats from Protein Works. Code LLC if you want extra discount. And I've even utilised the zero syrup. A while back they accidentally sent me a box that was basically just this zero syrup, and I did give a lot of it away, but we still have a few jugs. We still have a few bottles in the cupboard. So we're slathered in cherries, chia seeds, a little bit of granola for a bit of a crunch, and some syrup. I'm gonna go enjoy this. When we got this little chair, I always wanted him to kind of use this almost as his bed, because we don't often sit over here, but it's a nice snuggly chair. And recently we've been coming home and he's been jumping down from right here, so I think he used this as his little lookout throughout the day, and I find that so cute. Does anyone else properly talk to their dog? I'm not talking, oh, we're just chatting to ourselves and including him in it, or just walking around the house and making passing comments to him. I don't mean that. I just sat down on the sofa face to face with him and I discussed with him the new food that I've just bought him, and I can literally see him trying to figure out what the hell I'm talking about. And I was having a full-on, I was going to say adult conversation. I was having a full-on conversation. He wasn't replying obviously, but I was just letting him know what was going on. I was like, look, I've bought you this thing, I want to try it out. It's coming on Monday. You're still going to have your other biscuits, but we have got this raw food as well. I was telling him all the flavours, not even like a dog voice, I was just talking to him. I will just sit and have conversations with him. I don't know if people are really on that level. Anyway, I could really do with doing some work right now. I've set myself a lot to do. I need to complete my nutrition qualification, and it's one of those things that I keep putting off and thinking, oh, well, I've got till this point to get it done, so I just never do it, and I really need to start chipping away. So I actually have set myself a lot of work to do today. Yet have I sat down at my computer? No, and it really feels like I haven't done any work unless I've sat down on my computer, despite the fact that I've had conversations with all of my clients. I've gone through everything they've done in the past 24 hours, well, not 24 hours, but the past few hours that I've been asleep. You've done a PT session. I've done things, guys. I do things, but everything is messy and untidy. We've got some washing in the house that was still drying from yesterday. We've got some clean washing in a basket over there. I've got loads of pots that need doing, loads of pots that need putting away. I just could do with this sweep and things, and I just know that I'm not going to sit down and get any done if I haven't done that yet. So let's get on with that. Oh, not that you need to know, but if any of you get soy milk from Aldi, do not get this one. Get the normal Actileaf one. Do not get the Everyday Essentials. Every single one of these I've had has had lumps in, and having a morning coffee and then sucking up a milky, claggy lump through a straw is disgusting. And we get crates of this, so I'm figuring out how I can contact Aldi and complain, because it's actually, I'm going to be a Karen, because it's been so many and it's really upsetting. I can't describe to you. When you're waking up and you just want nice coffee, just think, like, have a slow, nice, enjoyable start to your day, and it just isn't, because this makes me feel sick. So maybe I'll also complain before I start some work. For clarity, I just need to sit down and make sure I know exactly what I'm doing over these next few days, because at the moment I feel as though, like I said, I have done stuff, but I haven't sat down and tackled anything at my computer, which doesn't feel very good to me, even though I have done stuff. But anyway, but I was just looking at my steps, and I've only done 5,200 steps, and my goal is 12,000 at the moment. I have hit that every single day, I will say, but it is something that I have to keep tabs on and I have to purposely do. I know I did a little bit of tidying downstairs just to stay active, but it's not boosted those steps up quite as much as I would have wanted it to be quite honest. One thing I do really like with the Garmin in comparison to the Apple Watch is that you can really easily see your steps, whereas with the Apple Watch, you would have to click into your rings and then scroll all the way down. It really didn't make them very obvious, and you couldn't set yourself a step goal, and so it wouldn't celebrate you getting to that step goal like my watch will buzz. When I used to have a Fitbit, it did some like fireworks for me. And again, it's not a fitness watch, so I don't expect that much of it, but I feel like that's a really, really simple thing that you could just add to the watch. And it focused way too much on those rings, when those rings mean absolutely nothing. I just had them on the standard. It was meant to work out for me based on my body stats and my level of activity, what was a good goal for me. But that goal was honestly terrible. I could hit all of my rings and have done 3,000 steps that day, which means that I overall have not been very active at all. So I don't know about that, to be quite honest. Whereas I really love on here, I can see everything. My body battery seems to have gone down quite a lot today. What's the app telling me? I had 99 on my body battery this morning and I felt really good about that. Obviously I've done a cycle, I've done a little bit of walking. Sleep coach is telling me I need more sleep than it did this morning. My body battery, it says I've had a demanding day. You've had a demanding day so far. Remember to take breaks and find moments to rest to help balance stress and training. Well, guess what? I'm going to sit down, I'm going to physically rest, but I've got work to do. And I haven't done my steps, so I do need to walk. Been for a little walk, had a tidy up, sorted out my plan for the rest of the week, so my head feels clear. I even paused before I said that and still managed to mess it up. There is some washing to put away behind me, but we'll just ignore that for now. And I still have some steps to do, I can't lie. It was raining, so I just did the very, very bare minimum. By that, I just went outside. So we're gonna nip to Tesco, and that's technically more steps, right? Are you ready to go? Let's go! I'm gonna put you on something here, guys. Tesco activewear. This is from Tesco, £12.50. It's double layered. Well, it's got a bra type situation going on and it's cute. Look at that. It is a little bit gapey, I will say. Slightly too big on the sides, but I got a small. I think I could have got away with an extra small. I'm happy with that for £12.50. Literally cannot complain. Also picked up a vintage package, and I think when I searched small women, they thought I said small man. This is kind of large, but it's very cozy and very thick, so I will continue to wear it. Maybe shouldn't be wearing it right now because I'm about to make dinner and beans is on the dinner. We've got a really lazy dinner and they're the best kind in my opinion. Just stirring my beans. But in all seriousness, when you're dieting, you need to plan out your meals, and they're not always going to be wholesome meals. They're not always going to be super high protein meals. Sometimes they're just going to be yummy meals, because I planned out my food this week, I think Friday to Wednesday, because my brain just ran out of power, and I knew by this point in the week maybe I could have got another day with a bit of a wholesome meal, but I know by the end of the week my brain just leaves my body and I just want something quick and easy that I don't have to think about. I just want beige food. I don't always want yummy, scrummy, nutritious foods. So it's beans, waffles and sausages, and it's Richmond sausages, not even the best, highest protein sausages, just the most delicious sausages. What are the chances that I splash tomato on this? Probably quite high. When my beans are bubbling, I thought I would just give some final thoughts on my Garmin, and I think I will keep it because I do enjoy all the stats on it, but I think people are getting a bit carried away, and everyone wants to run now, everyone wants to do a half marathon, everyone wants to work towards marathons, whatever it is. And I think everyone's getting swept up in that, and then they think they need the next best thing of everything else. So everyone's getting these watches and you're not even using half the capabilities. When I was looking at all the different versions that there were, some of them had mapping capabilities where you could see a proper GPS map. You could set like a breadcrumb, so if you set off from this point and you got lost, you could find your way back. There was solar battery, so if you go out and do an ultra and you can't charge your watch the entire time, bear in mind the battery life is 11 days. Why am I going out further than 11 days? But okay. But they had solar charging capabilities, and quite frankly, I don't need these things. Someone recommended me to get, I think it's the Phoenix, which is like one of the highest grade ones, which is about £1 million approximately. And I just think I don't need that. I obviously, interested in fitness. I want to see my fitness stats. I want to track those things. But realistically, it needs to be that deep, it doesn't need to be that much. I do think it's a lot more accurate when it comes to things like running and my running pace with my Apple Watch. My running pace in the Apple Watch used to be like low, quite slow maybe. I am quite slow, but like my usual slow. And then I would upload it to Strava, or I would separately track it on Strava, and Strava would say I did a lot
quote unquote better, whereas now it's matching a lot more closely, so I do think it is a little bit more accurate, but I don't think you need to go out and spend tons and tons of money. I mean, I feel that the battery life is a lot longer, let's be honest. I have just ordered a different colour strap because the purple, look, I want to be able to wear it all the time, right? And it is a little bit more bulky, even though I have got one of the more aesthetic ones. Oh, Rex was like, what's that timer? That's my food ready. My food. You've already had your food. But yeah, I'm gonna get a white strap so that it's a bit more aesthetic and it will still have the like top. But yeah, enjoying it. I'm gonna keep it. Now let's go have a lazy tea. Delish gourmet tea.